Hey friends, it's Gina. Welcome to the Rebookery channel. Let's talk about journal size today. I love small journals. I love my traveler's notebook size. I love my altered book size. And I love my binder junk journals. But sometimes I like to get a little more space. I like to have a little more real estate, and when I do that, I feel like I'm free to play. And so that's exactly what I did the other day. I sat down with a large journal and I just played. I played with some paint, some collage, some stamps, and I just had a lot of fun. I didn't really have a purpose for any of what I was doing. I just kind of sat down and played school like I was in art class. And I kind of missed that. I hadn't done that in such a long time. I have been so caught up in planning and scrapbooking and journaling and writing things down that I kind of forgot how to just play with art. And it was so fun. It was so therapeutic. I was so happy that I had done it and so irritated that I'd kind of given it up. It had been a while since I had just sat down with some glue and some scissors and some paint and just kind of, yeah, let it be what it was going to be. So it got me thinking about making journals that are the right size to lend itself to this sort of play. And this sort of play is just, it's just because you want to do it. It doesn't have a purpose. None of this really even has an audience. Like, I would never show this to anyone. I mean, I'll show it to you guys, but this is for me. This is just truly my art, my creativity, and my play. So I made some large journals. I made some bigger journals that I'm going to put in my Etsy shop. I haven't put them in yet, but I'm going to put them in here in the next couple of days. Today is Thursday, so I'd like to have these in. Ooh, if I really worked hard, I could get them in by tomorrow. But anyway, nonetheless, these will be in my Etsy shop. But I made these journals out of yearbooks. They're 1952, 54, and a 51, 1951, 1952, and 1954. And they're yearbooks from Kansas State, which is a big college around here. And I got these yearbooks quite a while ago at an estate sale, and they're really hefty. They're very thick, and like you can tell when you've got this in your hand. So when I made these, I kind of went off of my own large journals and kind of planned out that this would be like a playbook. So as I went through here, I put in lots of things that I would like to have in a play journal. Now, the one that I'm going to show you here in just a second, my actual, the last large journal that I actually worked in that was one complete book that I finished it from cover to cover. It was all the same paper throughout. So I didn't really have that creativity of, oh, look at this paper. How am I going to attack this paper? What medium am I going to use on this? Because it was all kind of the same paper. But with these journals, I made sure to put in lots of different types of papers. so that each time you turned to a new page, you would have some new inspiration or some new, almost like a challenge. Like, how am I going to play on this paper? And this is what I found when I first started art journaling a long time ago. I loved playing with different papers and finding out what paint worked best on what papers, uh-oh, that one got folded. What papers took ink the best, what papers took colored pencil the best, what types of glue I could use on different papers. And that was part of my learning process, and that was part of, I think, every artist, that's part of just developing your style, what you like and what you don't like, and what techniques you can become really good at, and what new things you can develop based on the materials and the papers and the different types of art materials that you have. So for this journal, for these three that I made sure to put all kinds of different papers, different textures, different weights, different colors, different finishes. Like, this is more of a, not a slick surface, but it's got more of like a satin finish, where this is an old piece of paper. So it's got, it's even yellowed, and it's got, it's very matte finish, with some newer cardstocks, and just kind of put some random pages in here and some color. I put some wrapping paper that I thought was kind of unique and interesting. But I kind of wanted these books to just kind of be an experiment book, a book that whoever had this it would be, like I said, your playbook. It would be a book where you could just play and experiment. So on this cover, this was the one from 1954. I kind of experimented on this one. It has paint, it has doily, it has fabric, it has stitching, it has glitter, it has ink. Yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff. It's got all kinds of stuff. So there's this one. And let me just jump real quick, and I know I'm kind of going back and forth here. Sorry, I didn't really have this planned out too much, but this was one of my last large journals. And it's pretty big. And actually, the one I had before this, it was so big that it actually broke the spine. But this is just some old wallpaper that I have. But for this journal, when I started this journal, I had the most fun just going through and just playing on all the pages. And so I would spend weeks just adding paint and ink and tape and papers. And then once I had what I would call the backgrounds, then I would sometimes transition into my journaling or my scrapbooking, and I'd go back to those backgrounds that I created, and I'd then go back and add photos, or add little details, or try out, here's some of my packing tape transfers. So this was a book where it's almost like it's cyclical. Like you could start off with just painting and playing and working with different backgrounds, and then you could go through that for like several weeks of just filling up all the backgrounds, and then you could transition into more of the detailed work, where you go back and you do some pen work and some stickers and some little details or notes or remnants from a memory, or remnants from something that you did that you wanted to remember. And so a journal like this, I literally could work in a journal. I think I had this one, oh my gosh, for a year maybe. Like, I worked in this journal for a year. There was just something I could always do, whether it was backgrounds or adding photos or journaling. This was a silly little thing that my son had said to me. And, I loved the collage of some old magazine ads, and then went in another day and added some photos, and went in another day and added some journaling. So a big journal like this really lends itself to long-term play, long-term journaling, long-term art. And it's funny, I hadn't looked at this journal in forever. This is one of my absolute favorites that my son, we're big Dumb and Dumber fans, so we know every word of the movie Dumb and Dumber. And so my son was going somewhere one day and just left a note on the table. And if you haven't watched Dumb and Dumber, you don't understand this note. But if you have seen Dumb and Dumber, you understand this note. So, you know, just putting something like that in here. But what I was saying was, I really kind of, when I go back and look through the pages here, I kind of see myself as I evolved. I see some of the things that I did, and some of the phases that I went through throughout my journaling experiences, and it's kind of cool. Like it's me evolving. I'm watching me evolve and trying out different things and different media and all kinds of cool stuff. Now, like this is one that I never did finish, but I kind of have a picture now that is from 2017. I haven't worked in this journal for a couple of years now, but I actually have a picture that could go right here. And so I think I might put that in here. But so I can just kind of see my transition, and here's how I started to incorporate book pages, and just would try out different things I would see other artists use. I would try those out. And this is some of my old college work. Like I had I'm a science teacher, so I have a lot of science worksheets and papers and projects and experiments and stuff from when I was in college. And so I somehow, I don't know where I got the idea, but I incorporated them into this journal, which is kind of cool because I think back fondly of that time when I was in college. Just playing around with colored pencils. This was when I thought I was kind of cool because I got a set of really nice colored pencils, and so I was just playing around with them and seeing what the colors looked like, and some more transfer. So journals like this are ones that I treasure. I think that these are like, this is like one of my favorites because it's just very eclectic, and it just has so much. It's scrapbook, it's journal, it's collage, it's paint, it's texture, it's practicing with my photography skills and my Photoshop skills, and taking photos with different cameras, and just trying out different techniques, and also memories. There's some memories in here. So anyway, so this is like the last of my large journal that I had in one complete book. Okay, so here's another one of the journals that I'm going to put in my Etsy store. So this is the 1952, and I loved this cover. I thought the color was so pretty. I don't know if you can tell or not. It's like an orangey, pinky, I don't know, burnt umber type of color. And then I just went through and put some of this gold foiling on here and did some stamps. And it's set up essentially the same way as the one before. Just has a whole bunch of different pages that are made of different papers for you to really push your creativity. And I'll flip through quickly so you can see all of the different pages. anyway, here they are. These are the 3 I'm going to put in my Etsy shop, and if you're interested in them, hop on over and take a look at them. I will put a link in the description below. Also, I wanted to point you in the direction of a really cool collage artist out there. She's collage and she's paint. It's Martine. And the reason why I love what she does is because she uses this large size, and her journaling substrate, like what she uses to journal on and to do her art, is actually old ledger books. And she is a great one to watch if you're trying to wrap your head around, how do I journal on such a large surface? So check her out. She has really lovely, lovely videos, and they're just very serene and peaceful. And I just love how she transforms that vintage ledger paper and turns them into wonderful pieces of art. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I appreciate every single comment, every single word you guys leave for me. I know your lives are busy, and I totally appreciate it when you take the time to leave me a comment, even if it's just a hey, how are you type of comment. So thank you so much. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, and I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe or share this with a friend. Guys, have a great rest of the day. Bye.